Today, we're going to be reviewing the Blue Yeti Nano desktop condenser microphone, a small brother to the original Yeti. However, I'm holding it by the stand, which is of course going to give you some obnoxious handling noise because the stand is also nano-sized and completely useless for most applications, because to get the best possible audio out of this microphone, aside from the random peaks since there is no limiter, you got to hold it kind of right by your mouth. However, what most people want to do is they want to put it back here, set it down. So I'm going to set it down, flip it into omnidirectional mode, and just start typing loudly. Except then when I start typing, you're going to hear all of that, and you're getting the room echo and things like that. That's not how you use the mic. You want it up and close to your mouth, otherwise it's going to sound pretty garbage, and all the boom on your desk is going to get picked up, and it's just not going to be a great experience. So we're going to pop it onto We're going to pop it onto a mic arm here real quick and fix this situation. TubeBuddy is the best tool you can get to manage your YouTube channel. You can update videos in bulk, optimize your SEO, syndicate to social media, back up your metadata, and more, all with a simple browser extension. Head to EposVox.com/TubeBuddy to learn more and download it for free. This is a test of the Blue Yeti Nano microphone in the cardioid pickup pattern mode, what most people should be using with some background noise going. My air conditioner is on in the background, so you can kind of get a feel for general room level noise background rejection. Now I'm going to switch it to omnidirectional mode real quick, which is really not how this should be used, but... Alright, now this is the omnidirectional pickup pattern mode, still talking to it as close as reasonably without popping or anything like that, with some background noise going. This is a test, and you can get a feel for the air conditioner in the background. Not entirely avoidable, even with my, big fancy expensive microphones, but you'll see how it handles it here. Now I need to go turn off the air conditioner in order to actually do this review. Today we're reviewing the Blue Yeti Nano, a small USB microphone, and the first one that the company Blue has actually released since the announcement that they were being bought by Logitech. I'm trying to keep it in the frame here while still having it in a good position. This is a $99 microphone, which is only about 30 bucks cheaper than the average not sale price of the full-size Blue Yeti. But Amazon even has Blue Yeti plus Assassin's Creed and other game streamer bundles for only 120 bucks. And that is a much better value per, your dollar than the microphone itself. So the price point is a little weird for me. I'm not sure I understand it, but this is a new rendition of the Yeti line. It looks very similar, still has the same similar design, same similar stand, just a lot smaller. And the stand is ridiculously small to the extent that no one should really be able to use this in a normal game streaming or even podcasting setup unless your desk is up at chin level for some reason, which I can't imagine that being the case. That's my same issue with the Blue Snowball, as most people want to set them on the desktop stand, which picks up all your keyboard booms and mouse clicks and things like that, as I shown in another sample. Just doesn't work. These microphones sound the best. Most of them sound pretty good for USB microphones when they're in the cardioid pickup pattern mode here and up next to your face, because otherwise they start picking up a lot of weird stuff. So I have this super old microphone arm that I keep as a spare that I have it hooked up to, because in the box you get the microphone itself pre-attached to the stand. It just attaches via these two screws to the side. Then it comes with an adapter to go from the 1/4 tap that's actually on the microphone itself. If you want to put it on a normal tripod, it should fit up to, I forget the exact sizing, but the standard microphone size, fatter thumb screw mount. And then it also comes with a fairly long micro USB cable, though if you're trying to do some really, behind your monitor mic arm runs or something, you may need a longer cable, and that could cause some problems with USB stall out or what have you. Just don't use hubs or extension cables, because those could cause problems. On the back here, you see there is an LED indicator for which pickup pattern mode you're in, as well as a switch to switch between the two modes that it has. Cardioid, which is meant for voiceover, most streaming and YouTube related recording situations, and then the omnidirectional mode, which picks up everything around the microphone and is more for recording like a group conversation, a conference call, things like that, where you have people all over the place that you need to pick up as much as you can. Over on the front of the microphone, you have a mute switch. Mutes the mic. You don't get to hear it. And then it has a green indicator for when you have monitoring enabled on the microphone, so whether or not you can hear it in the headphone output, a volume adjustment for that, and then you can actually hold this button on the back and switch off the monitoring if you just want to use it as a sound card. Unfortunately, it as a sound card, the DAC in there sucks. This is the whole issue with USB microphones, is you can only fit so much in a small form factor and without sacrificing too much quality. And so the DAC in it isn't so great. It doesn't do a good job of powering my like higher end headphones. So I didn't like it. I believe you're expected to control the volume for the actual computer system sound to the microphone via Windows, and then the dial adjusts just the monitoring quality of the not quality, but level of the microphone. Then on the bottom here, you have a standard 3.5mm headphone jack, the quarter 20 tap that I mentioned, and micro USB. As far as how this microphone sounds, in my testing, just briefly, it sounds fairly good. The issue comes down to how people use it, and I'll be touching on in a future video the actual Blue Yeti itself, since it's such a omnipotent, omnipresent microphone at this point. Everyone knows what it is, and why most people sound horrible with it, because right here, it actually sounds fairly competent, fairly good. But if I put it into the situation that most people do, now it's off camera over here, you're getting reflections off my monitor, you're picking up the room noise. I have a fairly quiet room right now, but it's not going to sound good. And you start typing in your game or playing a game, and it doesn't sound great. But bring it closer to your mouth, actually talk into it. This is a side address microphone, which means you talk into the side. There's another capsule back here for the omnidirectional, but you talk into this side right here, not into the top. Not into the back if you're in cardioid mode. Not into the side. Not into the other side. You talk into the front side right here. That's something a lot of people get wrong. Nothing irks me more than seeing people talking into the top of it, because that's just not how the microphone's meant to be used. My favorite thing about this microphone release is the color options. This comes in a variety of different colors. This is the red onyx version. Let me see here. They have shadow gray, Cubano gold, and vivid blue. And the blue and the red onyx look really, really great. I figured a lot of people would be getting the blue, so I went ahead and got the onyx. It looks really nice. For $99, it is a fairly high quality microphone. I do have a couple issues with it. They do include their own software to manage the levels now and update firmware, so I updated firmware before I started recording this video. It reflects which polar pattern you're in. It shows your mic gain and can help you adjust that. So if I start turning this up, if I start turning that up, I start clipping really badly. And then you can adjust your playback level, which is just reflected in Windows' audio control panel. My issue is that there is no sort of limiter or compressor in the microphone, which in most cases is a good thing. Like, I normally wouldn't ask for that in normal professional microphones, but something about the way these USB mics are gained, the gain is so finicky. And as you saw, like, it is so hard to talk at a consistent volume where you don't keep like, it is struggling for me to try to regulate my volume so that I don't randomly start peeking out the microphone. Like, it's hard to explain if you don't have a whole lot of audio experience. But an issue with a lot of these USB microphones is if your talking levels vary too much, then it is super easy to start peaking it and clipping and causing audio distortion and things like that based on how loudly you're talking for certain syllables, which is a natural human thing to do. But most microphones usually are held back in a way that prevents that from happening. But I've always had that issue with USB microphones specifically. It's really weird. Now, of course, if you do too much up-close voiceover with this, I would recommend picking up a pop filter of some sort. Unfortunately, for these kinds of microphones, you're pretty much limited to the giant fly swatter ones that just like block your face, which are obnoxious. You could get a little windscreen to put on top. Those would fit naturally anyway, but they do kind of muffle the sound a bit more than a proper pop filter, because they're not made to be a pop filter. Those are windscreens. They're meant to actually muffle air moving across it, because otherwise you start to get plosives. But I'm able to keep it at about 73 gain here, a few inches from my face. I shouldn't be causing too many plosives, and it still sound alright. So, hit or miss. Like I said, the value comparison, I mean, this is the same price as the Siren X. It's double the price of the actual Blue Snowball, which most people want to start with. For only a few dollars less than the Blue Yeti, that comes with a game and things like a taller stand that might actually be useful to you, because this one is not. I certainly question its value, but for those of you who don't want to buy used or refurbished or eBay microphones and want something new to start out with, and maybe the $120, $140 price point of the Blue Yeti is too expensive, or you want something with more color, or frankly, just something that takes up less space, that is a big advantage of this over something like the normal Blue Yeti, which is quite a bit taller than this. And I mean, it's even smaller than my RE20 here. However, my RE20, I tuck into the front here, and so all of that length goes back deep into my shot instead of across my face like this one. It works. It's a good option. It's something I would definitely recommend people pick up if that is their solution. I do think starting with USB microphones, if you have any intention of upgrading audio later, of having any sort of audio upgrade path, this maybe isn't the one to go with. You can get something like the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, which is both USB and XLR, and sounds quite a bit better, and then you can eventually upgrade to an XLR setup and then go to better audio from there. And generally speaking, I don't recommend condenser microphones at a desk gaming, streaming setup in the first place. Dynamic microphones are the way to go because of that extra background sound rejection and filtration that happens. But if all of those things are the ones you want, this microphone surprised me with how good it sounds. Product links, affiliate to Amazon, and yada yada, as always, will be in the description below. As always, in terms of disclosures, I didn't give it at the start of the video because I wasn't sent this early like a lot of YouTubers. I bought this myself as soon as I heard of the announcement because it was the first Blue mic since Logitech bought them, and I wanted to provide a review. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe for more awesome tech education, check out my mic review playlist for other recommendations in the description down below. I'm EposVox, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah.